This is Scott Handcock, who is the brainchild, genius, director, producer, writer of The Confessions of Dorian Gray for Big Finish.
And this is Alexander Vlahos, Dorian Gray.
Hi!
For Big Finish.
Hello. So yeah, why are we here, Scott, and what are we talking about?
We're here. Alexander Vlahos. We're here because we've been doing this for 10 years. Yeah.
Looking down that camera for that one. 10 years.
This is very Miranda.
The reaction
Just
cam.
Very Miranda, yeah, very Fleabag. No, so yeah, 10 years. 10 years. And we are here to talk to you about the fact that, 10 years.
10 years.
It's mad.
Basically, 10 years ago, 2012,
2012.
we...
God, a whole career ago.
For some.
For some.
We started doing the Confessions of Dorian Gray, the Big Finish.
We did. They took a punt on, at the time, a very unknown actor that I thought would never be a face of an audio series. And it was your first time in the sort of directors, producers, creating chair.
Yeah, it was sort of my
Your
first
baby.
time. The Confessions of Dorian Gray is a sort of audio horror series set throughout the 20th century into the 21st.
Yes.
So lots of different environments,
But
different genres.
Spurned off the idea that Oscar Wilde met Dorian Gray and then was inspired to write the portrait of Dorian Gray, the picture of Dorian Gray. And Dorian Gray exists from his birth all the way through to so not time travel, but goes through different eras. We've got First World War, we've got Second World War, we've got him fighting a kraken, and all of them, the golem. Basically, fun.
Lots of fun. We did about 5 series.
5.
It was Big Finish's first sort of Big Finish original.
Yes, it was. We are the OGs, if you will.
I'm too old to understand that term.
Yeah, of course, yes. So yeah, and just always thrilled and proud the fact that we'd always get the call and say they want you to come back. Download only for the first time, wasn't it? We were a trial, and then people really wanted to have the CDs, so we sort of went backwards in time, and now Scott. What are we releasing?
We're doing a vinyl for the 10th anniversary.
And then in the 20th anniversary, it'll be on Morse code.
But yeah, it's quite exciting. We've done a 2-sided vinyl, you and Hugh Skinner.
Yes, lovely.
Celebrating the anniversary.
Yes. I've recorded the audio in a cupboard in my spare bedroom, and that was fun.
That was fun. And
you wrote that, right?
I wrote it all. And then
You always do, bless you.
Dorian pops up with the War Master.
Oh yes,
In the Doctor Who spin-off.
I also did a recording in my cupboard while listening to the dulcet, beautiful tonal voice of Sir Derek Jacobi. So that was quite nice.
That's quite nice. And now here we are on camera filming a little secret something for the anniversary itself.
Yeah, so Dorian's finally gonna break through the shackles of audio and finally become a live-action person. Played by me, not you, Ben Barnes, but me.
We've been talking about this for a while, actually,
we
as an
have.
idea.
Yeah.
And then Jason said, finally, with the 10th anniversary, let's do it. Let's sell the series. Let's show people what it's about. It's a lovely little short.
It's a lovely little ditty, isn't it? No, it is. You're right. It is. Written by Scott.
But it picks up on lots of little instances throughout your life.
For sure, and you will recognise certain moments that are that were originally born in the audio series. So there's vampire, there's World War I, there's trenches, there's also the first time Dorian sees his portrait. So all things that for those hardcore Confessions of Dorian Gray fans, you will be able to go, I remember that from the audio drama.
And for the first time, you have to learn your lines. Hadn't thought of that, had you?
Need to speak to my agent. No, yes. Lines, yes, of course. Don't just have them in front of me. But no, I'm thrilled. We've got a wonderful cast joining us. It's not just me. Don't worry, you don't have to look at me all the time. Yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah. And why should people go back and investigate?
Well, because honestly, in terms of the work that I've done in my career, Dorian Gray's been the proudest I've ever been. And no, it is, because the writing has been... It's such a joy to have a script sent to you by wonderful plethora of all the writers that you've brought in, like David Llewellyn and Roy Gill and all these wonderful writers that came back to do the show, because the scripts were so unbelievably tight and exciting and thrilling and really pushing the boundaries of what we could do on audio. I remember feeling like in season 3, example, we pushed through sort of in a week. It was like Dorian's first life in a week. It was like episodic, tried to change the format. But anyway, the Question of Dorian Gray is a joy, and the part I've absolutely sort of fallen in love with, and yeah, every time I get a script, I'm so thrilled to see where we take him. So you can find that now at www.bigfinish.com. The initial reaction to the first series of Dorian Gray was, I think people were kind of surprised about how the language and the detail of, we
it was very evocative.
Very evocative, macabre.
We also found an audience that hadn't really investigated Big Finish, because they're very used to people coming through the Doctor Who lines and stuff, and actually...
I brought a lot of people from
Merlin.
Merlin. I was just on Merlin at the time, so I brought a lot of younger listeners actually to Big Finish and stuff like that, which was great. And I think people were surprised, but it found its own niche and slot within the Big Finish catalogue.
And they're half-hour episodes, so they're really nice. You get a lot of different kinds of stories.
Basically, just a bit too short to fall asleep to. So, just perfect. Just enough to enjoy, start, middle, end, car rides over. So that's kind of like what we were aiming for. But we were super surprised with season 1, weren't we?
And then we very quickly got season 2.
Yeah.
And we suddenly got quite busy.
Then we got quite busy and started doing other stuff. But we ended the show in season 5.
We both agreed.
We wanted to go out on a high.
Keep coming back because we
keep coming back because we miss it. So we had 2 years off where we often did loads of Torchwood, and I don't know what I did. I other stuff.
Outlander, Sanditon.
And I did Prisoner Zero. I was voicing other things.
Versailles,
but they had the other shows. And then when did we speak? It was first night of lockdown. First day of lockdown. On the first night of lockdown, Scotty gave to me Dorian Gray Isolation for free.
That's very good.
We'll put that in. Anyway.
You should be a writer.
No. And we the world went into lockdown, and then we did should we bring back Dorian and have it for free? And that was the first time I went, oh, I miss him.
You did.
I did it under. I didn't have any. I had a duvet on my voice notes on my phone. And I was just thinking...
It was literally so early in lockdown, people hadn't discovered Zoom or Clean Feed or any way of doing it like that.
Yeah.
And
it was just me on my phone, under a duvet.
And we wrote it, so it was meant to have been recorded on a phone.
And and then we put that out, and then people are like, oh my God, I can't believe Dorian's back. And that's when we started having conversations again about, should we? And now we're here, about to do a live-action version of the Dorian. And I hope people aren't suddenly disappointed by seeing my face. Not just my voice. No, are you excited for people to see us?
I can't wait to see it.
Okay, that's
genuinely. So used to existing in my ears.
No, it's so nice, and I'm so glad that Big Finish and Jason and Nick and everyone has given us this opportunity to put it out there. We hope you enjoy it.
The thing I love about Dorian as a writer, is you can express so much through him, and also you can place him in periods that have parallels with the present day. So actually, you can react to contemporary events through the past, which, given the period we're going through and have gone through recently, is quite interesting. But also, as a writer, you get to vent out all your... Because I like to think I'm quite a nice person.
Yeah, no, you write some dark stuff.
This is it. It sort of vents it all out of me.
Do.
If I wasn't allowed to...
No, listen, Dorian's your outlet, and I called that on episode 1, and I totally get it.
Absolutely. But yeah, for you as an actor...
Well, basically, I'm always, and throughout my entire career, wanting a challenge and wanting to find a character that I can sort of empathise with, but that pushes the boundaries of what is... readily available. So so for Dorian, he's the epitome of an anti-hero. He's vile to people. He has a very certain way of living, but also he's super open, super charismatic. The idea that someone can exist in 1970s or in 50s New York or America and just span, and also what I did love about what we ended up doing over those 5 seasons was that Dorian ended up getting friends. We brought back a cast like Dan Brocklebank, Sarah Douglas, Stephen Rodri as Oscar Wilde, and it became this own sort of little family. But the part itself is that it's just such a joy. The original Oscar Wilde, bringing that Dorian, that hedonist, and then us pushing that through into a modern day world, and then also the idea that in the show that there's almost a sort of monster of the week idea to it as well always means that start, middle, and end of every episode is a complete take on something new and fresh, and it means that it's timeless.
It's interesting because he's not a villain. He's not nasty. He has the capability.
Yes,
but he's selfish.
He would happily let something, like he will happily burn someone that's like a monster. I'd happily let that person burn. Whereas I guess someone like the Doctor per se is a pacifist, would not have it. Dorian would have a gun on him if he
there are a lot of grey areas.
There's a lot of grey areas, if you will. Did you get that? And like I said, the writing was from season 1, from episode 1 all the way through. It was just it's been so nice to read great scripts. So you wrote a pilot version of what you expected in season 1, didn't you? So you wrote this.
I wrote my episode, "The Heart That Lives Alone."
The Heart That Lives Alone,
for
and
other writers to follow. Yeah,
it's for writers to follow, and we always hark back to that episode because I think that episode in itself is episode 4 of season 1. Introduces Tobias, who's played by Hugh Skinner, and it was I think it was the first one where fans Dorian as a show gained fans, a fandom within the show from that episode. So I always feel like that's always the really good starting one. Do you know what? Even episode 1, we start with Oscar Wilde, played by the wonderful Stephen Rodri, and it's just almost a two-hander about and Oscar Wilde's deathbed, which is great. There's so many.
But also, Big Finish have some episodes for free on their website, like The Enigma of Dorian Gray by
That's for
Roy
free?
Gill, which
is
is
steal.
So
written by the wonderful Roy Gill,
Yeah.
and that's kind of like
beautiful script. You and Anthony Howell are just phenomenal.
Yes. We've had so many guest actors come through. My favourite episode, it's almost like a double header. I loved working with Sarah Douglas, who plays Dorothy Parker in the show, and the nicknames of Dottie and Dodo are used a lot, and it's almost like a sort of like a Thelma and Louise sort of version of a sitcom-y sort of idea, the dynamic between them, and it's always nice for me. Because some episodes are pretty dark, and then me just screaming like I'm on fire for 5 minutes and stuff like that, and then it almost feels like it's like the light-hearted versions of Dorian, kind of a bit more jovial.
You can't survive a century without having a laugh.
No, so it was always nice to have at least one of those in the series. Also, The Living Image by Matt Fitton, which is season 4.
End of season 4.
End of season 4, and why was that a challenge for me, Scott?
That was you playing your own doppelganger, so it was Dorian Gray meeting
a version that looked like Dorian
someone
Gray.
Who sounded like him but was a bit posher, and then you had to impersonate each other. So you were playing Dorian, playing your doppelganger, pretending to be Dorian, and vice versa.
Yeah, that was tough.
And then you met each other.
And then they met each other and had a fight with each other.
Yes,
they fought each other on audio. And
I think that episode alone took a whole day. It was only a half hour.
Yeah, but it was.
Jonathan, that was it. That was the other character. Yeah.
So there's loads for you to dip into, and there's, like you said, he's met the Golem and the Kraken,
werewolves.
and vampires and werewolves, and Freya, the Nordic sort of trolls, everything and everything. But there's something for everyone in the Confessions of Dorian Gray. I'm always looking for challenges as an actor, always constantly about pushing the envelope of what I'm capable of. And with Dorian, there is always a comfortability to it that, like you said, I don't have to know my lines, and it feels like actually like me smoking and the graveliness, and basically like after the first initial scare of doing season 1 and going, will they like it? Am I any good? All this sort of stuff. It feels like I can slip into Dorian's shoes quite easily on audio. So when the live action, this teaser thing that we're doing currently, that's a challenge. It's like, can I keep the same essence of the audio Dorian and bring it to life with my body? But I think that's what it is. I'm really looking forward to seeing if they can carry across mediums, And it kind of feels like, there's loads of shows out there that have started either as a podcast that have gone into things like, The Mighty Boosh, for example, was initially a radio show, and then they did that, and that really did work. And so I'm just hoping that this isn't the end of this teaser, and that hopefully, it will have a life, and if people at home watching it will tell them to turn it into a series. Keep employing me, basically, Big Finish.